Welcome back, Paul Catalina, Steven Simcox. It is time for Paul does dramatic readings of message board geniuses. So we have two from Texas A&M and some from other places. This from Jeff Kelly from Billy Lucci's Texags Premium. Thanks to Message Board Geniuses for.
Which anytime you get in the Billy Lucci subreddit of the Texags place, you're in a good spot.
Yeah. I kind of have a feeling we are getting one of the Final Four coaches. I feel like this is why we are waiting. We could be getting Kelvin Sampson or Todd Golden. I could be wrong. I hope we get an amazing coach like one of these guys and give them their resources. Well, no. First of all, Kelvin Sampson will retire at Houston.
Yeah.
Second of all, Todd Golden, clearly he doesn't, what's happened with Todd Golden in Florida is kind of a unique situation in that he had a Title IX probe earlier this year. It was closed. He was not exonerated. In fact, that language exists nowhere in it. They just didn't really know what they could do past the evidence that they were legally able to obtain. Mm-hmm. So this means that other teams can't really
go after him
like they would. Plus, there's only about 4 jobs that are better than Florida right now when it comes to basketball. They've won 3 titles in the last 20 years. Mm-hmm. So let's not pretend like that's not a way better basketball job than A&M. So even if Todd Golden did not have this potentially creepy thing happen, there's 4 schools that could, UNC, Duke, Kansas, that would maybe entice him more. And look, Florida's also in the SEC and won 3 titles in 20 years. So why would you leave there, basketball-wise?
A&M took their big swing. They went after Chris Beard. Paul, you've been pretty vocal about saying that seemed like just a negotiation tactic on his part. Mm-hmm. But they made their effort there, and it didn't work, so they regrouped. And, maybe it'll be good for them to just have a coach. This is not a flashy guy, but he's won.
I'll tell you, Bucky McMillan is a great hire for them.
Yeah.
It's great. They hit you at 94 feet. A school like A&M, while they are an SEC school, they're not a basketball school. They need to play a style that's interesting and difficult, and they need to have more gumption among their players than the A&M in any sport has never been good when they try to be flashy. Ever. One time it worked. One time. It's because they had 2 guys that enabled them to be flashy. No one else on that team was flashy. Johnny Manziel and Mike Evans. Without Johnny Manziel and Mike Evans, there's no flashy era of A&M football. When A&M has been their best at anything, Billy Gillespie in basketball, some of the teams like the AC Law teams, those guys weren't flashy. They weren't Kentucky. They weren't Florida or these teams that do that. Whenever they've tried to beat Texas in football, they've lost. Whenever they try to beat A&M, they've won. So Bucky McMillan allows them to be themselves, and it's a great, great hire.
No, I agree with that. I think it's somebody who's just going to come in and do the job well. And, I was surprised Buzz made that move to Maryland. I've seen after the fact, there's been multiple reporters who have said this is kind of just what Buzz does. He's very cognizant of the fact that people sort of get tired of coaches after 6 or 7 years. And if you're not going to win a title or do something pretty drastic and crazy, then folks can lose that luster on you as a coach. So he saw an opportunity to go elsewhere, took that, and now they found somebody who, is used to grinding it out at different levels and maybe can give them an advantage because he understands what it's like to make the most out of the talent that you have on a roster.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's go back to the Aggies, and I will need a character for this one. This one is about baseball.
Yeah, so this is a very dumb person thinking they have a great idea to solve a problem in a sitcom.
Okay. I really like
kind of like Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny.
All right, I don't know if I can do that. Let's see. I'm trying to think of like Joey Tribbiani.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? You got to warm up a little first.
Yeah, get in character. Yeah. Take your time, Paul.
We pulled out the wallet for football on multiple occasions. No luck for 80-plus years. What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again with no good result. Once again, we have a chance to be different. Pour all NIL funds into Aggie baseball. Pay for the top half dozen pitchers in the nation. Use remaining NIL funds to go after hitting talent. Win a damn natty in men's college baseball. Erase the 80-plus-year-old curse of no natties at any major men's sport.
Case closed.
Case closed. Hey, buddy. Hey, 12th man football. 12th man football.
Look in the camera, Paul.
Come here.
Look in the camera, Paul.
Come here, buddy. Come here. Hey, they're doing this, and it's not working. They lost Jim Schlossnagle, and then they paid. Like, they have a pitcher they're paying $2 million to that was drafted in the second round by the Angels and decided to stay at A&M because he'd make more money. Jace Laviolette is making a lot of money. He's going to be maybe the first pick in the draft this year in baseball. They're paid all the guys, Caden Kent, a bunch of money to stay. They probably have the most expensive roster in all of college baseball, and it didn't work out. So I understand your idea, and it sounds really good, but they're already doing it.
No, this guy's saying take all these. So if a single football player is making a dime,
his thing is they're not spending enough. They're not spending enough.
It is. I don't mean to make this a serious conversation, but it is kind of interesting. I was talking to Garrett before the show because when did we start? Is it just this offseason, Paul, that reporters started talking about like these contracts more out in the open?
I think so.
Okay, because yesterday there were some reports. Grayson Grudenhafer, who you guys know well, said that Rob Wright is possibly making $3.5 million to go to BYU. Mm-hmm. JT Toppin, who announced he's coming back to Tech, $4 million contract, supposedly, according to Matt Norlander. So
Darian Williams might be feeling a little bit like, oh, that's the kind of money we're talking about.
Wait, you got what?
Well, I mean, I knew it was a lot, but
hey, man. I think everybody, with the exception of a few big-time schools, is having to say, okay, like, not that we're just going to completely give up on a sport, but where do we draw the line? You know, we can't spend an insane amount of money in football, basketball, and baseball. If you want to have a good time, if you're not a Tech person, go to the Texas Tech baseball Twitter account. Just kind of scroll through the last couple weeks of scores and their replies. I think they might have diverted some funds from the diamond to other places. And, I mean, it's showing up in the results. But this is different because A&M, I mean, as you said, they went all in. Like, they felt very scorned by Jim Schlossnagle, understandably. They said, we're going to show you. And even though they had a nice series win against Tennessee this past weekend, before that, the biggest story was getting in a fight with Kentucky because their coach was telling their players to intentionally strike out so that they wouldn't hit the travel curfew and they could possibly play one more inning and maybe get a comeback. That's the type of season they were having.
And then they, took delays on the mound.
Yeah.
Like, they used every rule at their
disposal.
Yeah. So, no. A&M will probably make the postseason because there's 64 teams, but they right now will not host.
No.
And they're paying for a roster that's supposed to be a top 8 national seed. Like, that's what they intended to be. That's what they were a year ago. And now they're not. And they won't get, we're in April now. They won't get to that point. They'll make the postseason. They've won enough to make the postseason. And maybe they can go on some sort of spectacular run because their roster's good. But,
That's it.
That's
and
it.
if you want to I mean, if you really want to put pressure on people, you talk about sports like that, and Aggie baseball is probably doing better than most schools, but you start talking about kind of non-revenue sports, if you're going to spend a lot of money, you better win a national title.
Yeah.
Or be right there.
Yeah.
Because if not, people are going to be like, what are we doing, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Garrett, what's next?
The next one comes from Nebraska.
From Nebraska. All right. This is from somewhere. There we go. Inside Nebraska.
All right. I want this one in the voice of Skeletor.
In Skeletor?
Yeah.
This does seem like a Skeletor idea. It does. The winner of the crown and the winner of the NCAA tournament should play for it all. Let's settle it on the court. We don't want to be those guys 30 years down the road claiming a basketball natty after a hard-fought crown championship. I believe we match up wonderfully against Houston and Florida. Essigan and Jacobson catching fire at the perfect time. A wounded Jawan Gary playing out of his mind. The assassin Bryce Williams calmly doing his thing. No reason at all why things shouldn't be settled on the hardwood. I'll get you, He-Man. That is a Skeletor idea. The crown is not the same thing. Like, you win that, you're not beating the same teams that you would get there.
I feel like I'm in a room right now of sports-obsessed people. Did anyone here watch a minute of the college basketball crown?
No.
Emory, did you watch any of the college basketball crown? No. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good for Nebraska. Okay, you won. I guess it's sort of taking the place of the NIT because apparently the NIT now is just like mid-majors. But I truly hope that's a bit, because if it's sincerely a guy who's sitting at home like, who's next? Give me Florida. We're on fire. We just won this tournament in Vegas. Then, yeah, I lost a lot of hope for that person.
Yeah. All right, next up,
Tuscaloosa.
let's go to BamaOnline.com. And Steven, this one probably needs to be at least of the Southern persuasion, I would think.
Yes. This is a passive-aggressive Southern mom just talking about how, she's got to keep people in their place.
Okay.
Kim Mulkey, you mean?
Oh.
I don't know if anybody will ever call Kim Mulkey passive-aggressive. Yeah. But yes.
No, she's just aggressive.
She's just aggressive.
Yeah. No, what you call that is rude. All right.
Oh, man, now we're going to be on our hit list. Oh, well.
Yeah, I've been on it for a long time.
I know you have, Paul.
A long time. All right. I had to remind a mouthy UF coworker that we've beaten them 8 in a row and 11 of the last 13 in football. Look, y'all, I'm a huge basketball fan. I love basketball. I love it. Some of this stuff is added, by the way. I'm just going to play up the part.
A little improv, yeah.
Yeah. Look, y'all, I'm a huge basketball fan. I love it. Love Nate Oates. Love his little jackets. I think he's very fashionable. I love his jackets. They're nice, okay? They're nice. I really enjoy his vibe. I mean, he's a northerner, but, he gets it, He gets how, we live down here.
Yep.
And I would love to see them cut down them nets one day. Just snip up on that ladder, get me some of that net. I want to see it. I love it. But, y'all, this is the SEC. And there's only one sport that really matters. Don't you know what I'm saying, girls? I know it. I know you do. I know y'all do. Y'all funny.
That's really good. It's that, and that paragraph there is why if you ever have the temptation, if you're celebrating your team and somebody from your rival or an opposing school tries to cut you down, do not engage, because this is the type of mental gymnastics these people are going to go through to prove that they're right.
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with Florida winning a basketball title.
Yeah.
But if that makes you feel better, Alabama fans,
No.
good for you.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, but yeah, basketball school used to be a really severe insult.
Yeah.
In the SEC.
Right.
now they're all spending millions on basketball, and they're like, no, we want to be everything schools. So, sure, yes.
Yeah, we're all about it now.
Yeah.
About the hardwood.
Yeah. No, they are. They are. Okay, hold on. Oops. Okay, so that leaves us with Michigan State, correct?
Party, yep.
Yeah, and
What's
this
Sparty?
is a get your voice. I don't know if you need some water or something, but we're gonna go Jason Statham. This is a long one though, so be prepared.
Jason, I'll probably need some in the break before we do the
Okay.
wheel. Okay. Izzo Optics. Am I the only one concerned that Izzo's being captured at opening day with puffy, tired-looking eyes, lounging around just wasting the day away, only a few days after Holloman stabs him in the back while Scum is busting ass in the pool, just building a super squad for next year? Scum just landed the #1 portal recruit in addition to the point guard from UNC. Izzo is watching his team fall apart and sitting around at baseball games knowing he'll be all over television doing so. I love Tom. I hate this new era of NIL and free transfers, but we either adapt or run the risk of becoming the beta. I hate to admit it, but Scum is nipping at our heels in hoops. We have to maintain top dog spot in basketball at the very least. I'm not ready to give up the throne, but it looks like as if that day might be coming if this trend keeps up.
Just brilliant. Scum, if you didn't know, is how that fan refers to the University of Michigan.
Yes. Yeah. So there we go.
And he's worried he might have to give up the throne. Apparently, this person themselves is in control. They delegate who has the throne in Michigan college hoops.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So he's concerned about it because Tom's just hanging out at opening day.
Yeah.
He's not, scouting some dude who averaged 20 points at William and Mary last year. Mm-hmm. He's watching baseball instead.
Yeah. Yeah. He was there, he was at one baseball game. Here's the thing. This guy's mad. I know the portal's open, but he went to one baseball game, and it's highly likely he was invited there. And so he's like, yeah. Sure. My assistants can go do this for a day. I have my phone. I can go back at I'm Tom Izzo. I can go back in a suite and tell the person who invited me here that, hey, I need to get one of our players, and the person who invited him there probably is one of the guys who's going to pay for the guy, and he'll be like, oh yeah, no, do what you need to do. Do I need to talk to him? Yeah, sure. Have him call me. I'll tell him how much money he's getting.
Yeah, it's at 1 o'clock in the afternoon too. He'll end and he'll have some more time during the day.
Yeah.
I don't think that's peak transfer portal time.
Yeah.
1 p.m.
Yeah, and look, he didn't go to the actual opening day, because the Tigers didn't open at home.
Right.
They opened on the road. He opened with the Tigers opening day. And
man.
Good. I mean, my guy is not allowed to have a life. No. And hey, you know what could have been also going on at opening day? That recruit could have been there.
Sure.
Very easily could have been
maybe hey, come to this baseball game with me, and let's we'll show you how we live.
Yeah, I mean, there's no gifts anymore. It's the guy was like, hey, well, why don't you bring him to Tigers opening day? Mm-hmm. That sounds fun. Maybe that was his recruiting. And he's puffy. He looks tired. You ever think he's tired because he's been doing all that shit? He's been on the phone with recruits late at night. You know what? This is really hard. I really just want to take in a ball game. Give me 3 hours.
Right,
just 3 hours. I want to have a couple hot dogs and some nachos and a beer and chill out and watch Tarek Skubal. I just want to chill for a day. Can I have a day, sir? A day?
Yeah, they were just in the Elite Eight. It's not like they were, bouncing around at 64.
Yeah. He wasn't in the crown.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't in the crown.
I mean, he's probably got to prepare for Nebraska next year more than anything now, but